Okay.
I'm looking forward to the time when we can go around Colwyn Bay and I can show you the different places that our family had connections with.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We'll have to wait for that. Come on then.
All right. Well, well, I've already started, Dad. I've already started. So I was just going to introduce you to your audience and say this is my dad,
All right.
the very Reverend Parry-Jones, lend to his friends. He's a retired vicar. You retired about 3 times. Well, you did retire 3 times. I can't remember how old you were the last time. Was it 88?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. It's not that long ago, is it? And you had your 91st birthday in lockdown.
Yeah.
And if they don't sort themselves out, you'll be having your 92nd one as well, won't you?
Again?
Well, yeah, you'll be having your second one in lockdown if they don't sort themselves out, won't you?
It looks like it, doesn't it? Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
We'll see. Anyway, I thought we'd just do a little interview about some words of wisdom on how to get to nearly 92. So I'm going to prompt you a bit and then you can just talk. So the first thing that I was thinking about was your fitness and your exercise, because you're still really mobile compared to a lot of other people. And and you started off running in your youth, didn't you? You told me you used to run.
That's right, yes. I used to run. I used to run the length of Colwyn Bay Promenade from Old Colwyn right the way up to Rose Pier and back. On other days, I would run uphill to Llanellian and round to Llysfaen and down back again, down that way. So that would be another run I would do. What started me was when I went to college, when I went to the seminary, I met up with a friend from South Wales, and he was very keen on running, and he kept on badgering me because he wanted me to do it as well. So I bought running pumps and shorts and ran until I could run faster and for longer than he could, and then he stopped. But I kept on for quite a while, but I didn't keep it up when I went to college. And your mum said that she never saw me run. Well, that was true, because I wasn't quite sure people would react to having a vicar who ran around in shorts. I was a bit of old-fashioned then, and really, I think in those days, at any rate, a lot of Welsh people were rather conservative, and there would have been some comments, I'm sure, if I had kept up with the running. Yeah. But I simply slowed down and kept on walking instead, which I'm still doing.
Yeah.
I see people round here, quite a number of them are jogging, and I think to myself, well, in my way, because of my age, I've got to do it very slowly, but I am, in a sense, jogging, but doing it at a walking pace.
Well, you always said as well when you were a kid that your mum and dad used to walk everywhere. They liked to go out. Walking was their entertainment.
Yes, when I was a child, and your Uncle Walter was as well, Mum and Dad used to go. That was entertainment. That was people's entertainment in those days. You walked everywhere. So often on the Sunday morning, we'd set off and we'd walk miles. And the nice part about that was that everybody else that we knew anyway, very, very few people had a motor car, or a bicycle was about the highest you could get, really. So it meant that if you were walking around everywhere, you could stop and talk to people very easily because they were doing the same. And you just meet wherever you were, in the lane or on the hillside or just wherever. You could just stop and talk to them. And when I was starting off as a young curate, I got my mum and dad to send my bike. Your Uncle Walter had gone off to sea by then, so I took over the bike, and in those days, all they did was put it on the train, and I picked it up at the other end. There was no, I don't know, going to the station and buying tickets and paying money and they just stuck it on the train, and then they put the address where it was to go, which station, and you picked it up at the other end. So then I used that because it was again useful, because I only had to stop, put my brakes on and stop, and I could talk to people. I didn't have to stop the car and try and park it safely and all that sort of business. And most people, perhaps in those days, they were walking too, so it was easier on a bicycle to go visiting, as it were. So all you had to do was put the brakes on when you saw them and talk to them, and then you could ride off again. Before very long, you'd come across somebody else and you could just stop and talk. It was convenient. Nowadays, people simply flash by in the car, and if they see you at all, you or they were lucky, or they just wave to you, and that's it. You sort of get in a tin box, and you're shut off from everybody, really. Shut off from the weather and all the rest. That's too uncomfortable. But you're shut off from people as well.
Yeah. All right, I'm just going to pause it now to see if I can get a better signal. So I'm just going to stop.